The full list of enchanted cards for Ursula's return have been officially announced, so sit back and let's look at all 18 of them together. What's up Illumineers, it's Mateus here and it's time to cover the enchanted cards for set 4, Ursula's return. Right off the bat, you will notice 2 patterns from the previous set and a new one for Ursula's return. All cards are still using the unique watercolor style that we saw from Into the Inklands. Set 4 sticks with having 3 enchanted cards per ink type, different from what we saw back on sets 1 and 2, which only had 2 per ink. And, something brand new for this set, all 18 cards have a similar dark motif to their backgrounds, likely representing the set's story, with Ursula's darkness creeping throughout. Personally, I think this effect fits really well with the theme and makes every card really pop from the background, highlighting their silhouettes and colors. I really love it. Starting with Amba, we have 2 character cards and a song. First up is Cinderella Melody Weaver. If this character is looking familiar, you're not wrong. Cinderella received an enchanted card back in Set 2, Rise of the Floodborn, also within the Amber ink type. Maybe because of her popularity among Illumineers and also the introduction of a Singer 9 for the first time, Cinderella got a second enchanted card. I know some of the community was hoping to see Ariel singing Mermaid taking this spot, so it did come as a bit of a surprise. But overall, players did seem to be happy either way with the outcome. When compared to the legendary counterpart, it's a great surprise to see her in this flashier new pose in her full glory. As much as the legendary card is beautiful, the majority of the community felt that the card lacked something. It's worth noting that the artist from an enchanted card isn't always the same as the one from the regular version, as you can see here in this case. Another pattern you may notice is that the card's artist Nocturne is credited with 5 of the enchanted cards from this set, and I think they nail all of them. Minnie Mouse Musketeer Champion is the second character card for Amba. Minnie in particular was received with a lot of excitement from the community, as players were waiting for more of the classic characters to get their enchanted versions. With the whole focus on the different Musketeer characters this set, and also some of the other enchanted cards still to be announced later in this video, this choice made a lot of sense. When looking at Minnie's super rare counterpart, this card is also extremely beautiful and imposing, showing a more courageous and determined look. Personally, I love both arts for this card and I have a hard time picking one over the other. Let us know down below which do you prefer. Look at this family, a song card is the last enchanted for Amba. With Encanto and the Madrigal family arriving for the first time in Disney Lorcana with this set, there were a lot of expectations on seeing perhaps the Mirabelle Gift of the Family super rare card taking an enchanted slot. However, Ursula's return also introduced a brand new mechanic called Sing Together. So it makes perfect sense to celebrate both Encanto and this new mechanic in a single card. For me, this couldn't have been a better choice. This card is so beautiful and so vibrant, and definitely makes it one of my favorite enchanted cards, not just from Ursula's return, but out of all sets released so far. The rare counterpart was also very vibrant in its own ways and had a lot to it already. The main difference here, apart from the art style, is that the enchanted version really highlights the entire Madrigal family in a much clearer way and brings the colors to the next level. I absolutely love these cards. Also, just a quick side note, if you want to learn more about the Sing mechanic, don't forget to check our new video, Sing Explained. In Amethyst, we have 2 character cards and a song. The first character is Ursula, Sea Witch Queen. Even though Ursula also has received an enchanted card previously as part of Into the Inklands, seeing another enchanted this set didn't come as a surprise, given that this set is called Ursula's Return. However, what was more curious is that not only did Ursula have take on 2 enchanted slots, she's also in reality taking on a 3rd one. And what's more, it's the same card. As announced this week, the next set championship promo enchanted card is also based on the Sea Witch Queen, giving her 3 versions, 2 being the same card. Ursula's legendary counterpart was also very well received, especially because we also see the presence of Flotsam and Jetsam in the picture, with all 3 of them floating above Ursula's cauldron. This card is very beautiful and really illustrates all the darkness and narrative from this set. The second character card under Amethyst is Enchanted, Powerful Sorcerer. This reveal was extremely well received by the community and all of the Fantasia and Brew fans out there. There's a lot to look at with this card, especially coming from set 3 Into the Inklands, where we first got introduced to the Sorcerer's Hat enchanted item card. If you look at this card up close, it looks like the Yen Seed is inside the same cave we can see on the Hat's enchanted card. This is likely how he recovers the hat previously borrowed by Mickey. The legendary counterpart focuses a little bit more on a different moment of Yen Seed's narrative, with the presence of all the magic brooms as well as Yen Seed spells. This was probably a strategic approach from Ravensburger, as this card was shown in the first review of the set as part of the marketing materials for Ursula's Return and the new Illumineer's Quest game mode. With this card, players could confirm the focus on a themed broom deck, which generated a lot of excitement. Artistically speaking, this is another beautiful card and doesn't fall too much behind its enchanted variation. Second star to the right, a song card, is the third and last enchanted for Amethyst, introducing another card that celebrates the new Sing Together mechanic. Can I just say that this card holds a very special place in my heart? So to see this taking on an enchanted form and looking as beautiful as it does really made my day. Between us, this is my chase for set 4. Obviously, I will have a hard time saying anything bad about this card, so let's jump straight to the original rare version. Apart from its artistic approach, the regular version of this card seems to give more attention to John and Michael Darling, while the enchanted version centralizes its focus more towards Peter Pan and Wendy Darling. It is a nice take where all characters can be exposed from different angles. Now straight in Emerald, we have 2 character cards and a song. First is Diablo, Devoted Herald. This card is beautiful and probably the one that most contrasts with the dark background and really sells the darkness narrative and artistic approach the best. Interestingly enough, for a moment I thought we would have seen a Prince Philip card taking this slot instead. But after looking at this art, I'm not complaining, this card looks beautiful. On another hand, its legendary counterpart generated a lot of buzz when first announced, both from the choice of character for a legendary card, but also its possible impact in the game. Art is very subjective and I'm a huge fan of Alice Pisoni's cards from previous sets, but personally when comparing both its enchanted variant and the legendary one, I don't think this is even a fair comparison. Everything on the enchanted version looks more imposing, with a very strong pose and character. Perhaps the original is one of these cards that grows on you the more you pay attention to the art. Either way, it's still a beautiful card. The second character card under Emerald is Jasmine, Desert Warrior. This is also the second enchanted by the artist Nocturne in the set. As much as we are super excited to finally see Jasmine earning her spot as an enchanted card, I do have a hard time liking the looks of this card. For me, this is the exact opposite of everything I have just listed when comparing Diablo Enchanted and regular cards. Jasmine's rare counterpart has so much more character and determination, really representing Jasmine's personality, while the enchanted version looks too passive for what I would expect from her. What is your opinion about this card? I would love to hear more from the viewers. To no one's surprise, we don't talk about Bruno, as Song card is the third and last enchanted for Emerald. Likely for similar reasons mentioned earlier in Amba, with the huge focus on the Madrigal family this set, it would only make sense to have Bruno represented in the enchanted spot one way or another. And what is the best way to do that than with his incredibly popular song? Charlie and I absolutely love everything about this card, from its colors, the rat silhouettes, the crooked staircases, all the way to the different prophecies from Bruno. Also, let's not forget how cool this card is from a gameplay point of view. Its rare counterpart maintains a lot of the different elements we mentioned in the enchanted card, but toned down by quite a lot. The lighting still looks out of this world and Bruno's pose is very interesting. For me, this is a perfect example of a card that works really well on its regular form, and then pushes it to the next level when represented via its enchanted alternate art, as all enchanted should be in my opinion. In Ruby, we have 2 character cards and a location. Starting with Goofy Super Goof. I am a sucker for the main gang, so I was incredibly pleased to see Goofy taking on this slot. Especially with this card that will likely have a huge impact on the meta moving forward. I love the art of this card, but if I could share my 2 cents, the only 2 things I wish that were included here were some peanuts, and maybe the shading to look less 3D than what it is. Apart from that, it is an amazing looking card and definitely part of my top enchanted cards for this set. Its rare counterpart does a lot of the things that I wish we would have seen in the enchanted one. It brings the goofier side of Goofy and a lot of vibrancy and colors, but I love seeing the 2 sides of Goofy represented through both cards. Spoiler alert, between us, this card also means something else to us. Stay tuned to our channel to find out more about it very soon. The second character card on the Ruby is Sisu, Empowered Sibling. This art by João Moura looks unbelievable and it really highlights her body made of water. Artistically speaking, I do find a little bit off when compared to the other enchanted cards this set, as the black background is quite flat and not following that ethereal look and motif from the other ones. I also can't stop but think that I don't understand the decision to give Sisu a second enchanted version. Apart from its beauty, the first Sisu Enchanted was met with little enthusiasm from the community, and with a lot of cards dedicated to the Mulan franchise this set, and losing hope that we will ever see a Mushu card, there was a strong belief that we would finally see a Mulan Enchanted here. It might take me a little bit of time to digest this. Its legendary counterpart looks the exact polar opposite of the enchanted variant. It is all about the brightness and peaceful environment. Even though they visually look very distinct, the actual posing and message looks exactly the same to me, which makes me even more confused with this choice overall. What do you think about this? Am I overreacting here? The Snuggly Duckling location is the last enchanted in Ruby. Given that Tokyo Disney Sea theme park is opening a Snuggly Duckling restaurant next month, it made sense to bring even more attention to this location via Disney Lorcana, whether this tie-in was a coincidence or not. But what I like the most about its enchanted version is how they put a big focus on the iconic sign of the pub. Apart from the different tone and choice of colors, the rare variant doesn't look all that different from the enchanted card. They are both still very beautiful, but I wish we would have gotten more differences between them both. I am, however, really looking forward to try out this location card in my Ruby deck. In Sapphire, we have 2 character cards and a location. Anna Truehearted finally gets her spot here, and she probably can't wait to let her sister know about it. This is another card created by Nocturne, and as mentioned from the previous ones, you can see a lot of their artistic style here. Anna looks very imposing and fantastical looking, ready for the next challenge. Anna's super rare counterpart is another card that was incredibly looking by default, likely because of her presence on all the marketing materials for one of the 2 starter decks for Ursula's Return. I actually really love the 2 versions of this card. Funny fact, when Ursula's Return was first announced, a lot of players mistook this version of Anna with Brave's Merida, generating some buzz in the community. Sadly, we will have to wait a little longer for Merida to make her way to Lorcana. The Queen Diviner is the second character for Sapphire, and as you probably guessed by now, this was also created by Nocturne. This card is out of this world outstanding. Her facial expression, colors, and all the ethereal swirls around her makes this card one of the most beautiful for this set, and probably going to be one of those enchanted on top of many Illumineers chase lists. Its legendary variation is no different. When first announced, it caught a lot of attention and excitement, especially for those item-based decks that have been very popular lately. I kind of wish that the enchanted variant could have somehow introduced the Queen's Book as well, but it's also nice to see 2 distinct poses between the cards. The Ariel's Grotto location is the last enchanted in Sapphire. I think this was a very expected one given the theme for this set, how iconic this location is in the animated movie, and also at Disney parks. I actually really love the art for this and the close-up look, when compared to its rare counterpart. But I can't stop but think that this will be the equivalent to Belle's House Enchanted from Into the Inklands, and this card won't hold much value within the community if I had to make a guess. Its rare version presents the grotto from further away, showing more of how expansive this location is. But between both, I definitely prefer the enchanted version way more. Beautiful art on both cards though. In Steel we have 2 character cards and a location. Ariel Sonic Warrior makes her debut here, as the enchanted character for Steel. It doesn't come as much surprise that we would finally see an Ariel enchanted in this set. The main question was if it would be this one or the Singing Mermaid in Amber. What can I say about this card? The long wait definitely paid off. Nocturne did yet another amazing job with this card, and Ariel looks incredible with her fiery hair and beautiful pose. I believe this might turn out to be the biggest enchanted for this set. Ariel's super rare counterpart was already an extremely popular card when first announced, with another one of these really interesting abilities for the game. What I love about the super rare version is that we can see her in action, using her amplified voice ability, while the enchanted version serves more like a portrait following the pattern from the other cards. Either way, I love both cards and can't wait to collect them both. Piglet Sturdy Swordsman is the second character card for Steel. Let me start this by saying that this is the cutest card ever and Piglet definitely deserves this spot here. But I gotta say that as Donald Duck's #1 fan, I was hoping to see him finally as an enchanted card. But for a moment, I even thought that before Donald and Piglet, we would definitely see Mickey Mouse Playful Sorcerer here. I am still gobsmacked that he is not enchanted, especially being the iconic Playful Sorcerer from Fantasia, but I'm not complaining. What I like about this Piglet Enchanted is that even though he has the spotlight and definitely comes off as heroic, he's still being portrayed in his playful side, proud of his achievements. Piglet's legendary version is another one of these cards that doesn't fall behind at all. If anything, it might even be more beautiful. I just love all the setting around this card, Piglet's little happy face, and the whole shot in general. I'm not sure if it will be an impactful card for the meta, but definitely a card that I want to collect right now. Good choice, Ravensburger. And the final enchanted for Ursula's Return is the Wall location in Steel. This is also the first enchanted card officially announced this set, confirming that locations will still make the cut for enchanted slots. Surprisingly, the community didn't take this one with much negativity compared to the locations of the previous set. Instead, it was quite the opposite, with many saying how much they loved the art and felt that it represented the whole vibe of this set very well. On the other hand, I gotta say, its rare counterpart does not impress me. Don't get me wrong, the drawing is beautiful and the lighting is amazing, but overall I find that it gets lost among all the previous Steel locations released so far. What do you all think about this? And this brings us to the end of this video. What did you think about the choice of cards for this set and also its artistic approach? Let us know in the comments section what your chase cards are for this set and if you disagree with any of my spicy takes. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for this coming week, as we will have videos covering everything related to Ursula's return over the next week. Have a great weekend and happy questing!